let's just rip off the Band-Aid. Corporations don't care about you. They don't care about their workers. They don't care about social causes. And they certainly don't care about the warm fuzzies that you feel when you see a rainbow logo on Twitter in June for Pride Month. What do they care about? What do they always care about? That's money. Cold, hard, cash, money. And honestly, I don't blame them for that, right? A company's job is to turn a profit. But what I do take issue with is the fake moral posturing, right? The empty virtue signaling that we see every Pride Month, and then the sudden backpedaling when it no longer helps the bottom line. We're going to talk about this article. This is from GameFile, and it's talking about Take-Two removing, I guess, their LGBTQ efforts and their DEI and all that. It's all mumbo jumbo. We're going to get into it right here. But if you're not subscribed yet, hit that subscription button. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers. Join the ABE Nation, guys. So lately, we've seen a wave of companies quietly distancing themselves from the DEI branding, which is diversity, equity, and inclusion. The same DEI that they were shouting from the rooftops about 2 years ago. Yeah, DEI, right? Yeah, that one. Now they're quietly scrubbing it from their investor reports, hoping nobody notices, but we did notice. So Take-Two Interactive, right? It's the latest company to join the trend. Now, this happened a few days ago. People were talking, giving their thoughts about it. I want to give my take on it, right? But you know Take-Two, the publisher behind GTA, Borderlands, NBA 2K. Well, according to their latest filing, they wiped away any message or any messaging that mentions even DEI at all. They removed their chest thumping about LGBTQ and their words that they got for it and all this stuff, and made absolutely no reference to their so-called efforts to diversify their talent pool with scholarships. All that verbiage is gone, guys. But let's not kid ourselves. This isn't about them suddenly growing a conscience or changing their philosophy or the ideologies. It's just a rebrand, almost like a sleight of hand illusion, like a little trick. They're not ending these programs, all right? They're just tucking them out of sight, and they're slapping a less controversial title or label on top of them, okay? It's not the death of DEI. It's the costume change before Act 3 for this company. Let's be real and call it what it is. And this is not just Take-Two that's doing it. Disney, Google, Intel, General Motors. There's tons of massive companies that are scrubbing that language too. NPR even reported on this trend earlier this year, noting that DEI language in corporate filings is now being softened. So the translation is that they're trying not to spook these shareholders while still clinging to the same internal frameworks. You know, this whole woke ideologies. It's all about the optics, guys. That's at the end of the day, it's always optics with these people. So let's be clear. This was never about values. It's about riding this social wave to win clout, if you can call it that, attention, and let's be honest, money, like I said. But now that the tide is shifting, right, so are they. You got the new presidential administration in office. DEI efforts are starting to crumble down, so they have to make some changes. And for some reason, people still seem surprised when they figure out the truth or the non-truth, like when they're reading this stuff. Oh, I can't believe Take-Two shifted away from DEI. Really? You can't believe it? Really? These companies will ditch any kind of ideology the second it stops making them money. And that's not betrayal, it's their business model. So if DEI efforts are causing them to lose money, you already have people concerned that GTA 6 will be woke, they're going to scrap it, or they're going to hide it, which in this case is what's probably likely happening. So Take-Two's own language proved it. In 2024, they had a quote that said, diverse teams are key to our success. But in 2025, suddenly it's about diversity of thought, which, hey, I actually agree with. I think it's a better approach, but let's not pretend that's what they meant last year. Okay? It's just a less explosive phrase that they can still leverage when it's convenient. Okay? What these corporations should be doing, honestly, is hiring based on talent. The way it used to be. You hire the best person for the job on merit. Okay? Not taking a demographic checklist for a PR boost. That's how you build great games. Hire the best people that could work on your project. That's how you build anything that's worth a damn. And when you look at how games like Dragon Age the Veilguard, which we've talked about that quite a few times this week, Flintlock and Concord turned out, it's pretty clear what happens when you fill a room with yes man and call it a diverse team, right? It's not about who you hire, guys. It's about what they bring to the table. You want different perspectives. Sure, we get that. You want people that come from different upbringings, different, backgrounds. Sure, okay? But they have to be rooted in ability at the end of the day, not appearance. Not this identity politics nonsense. Because when it's not, you end up with boring, soulless games that were built to pass a checklist and not entertain actual human beings who want to be entertained. And Take-Two can't afford to mess that up right now. They've reportedly put over billions of dollars, I think over $1 billion at this point, into GTA 6. That game has to succeed, okay? So, of course, they're pivoting. Of course, they're ditching this trendy activist branding. They're realizing the people that they were pandering to, they don't actually buy the games. They just kind of complain about them online. If the last year was any indication, all the games that failed, that we've listed, Dustborn, Concord, you name it. This is why the so-called woke era of gaming has been such a disaster, guys. These games don't resonate with actual players. They flop because they aren't made for fans. They're made for approval from the Twitter mobs and the award panels. And that's not sustainable. It's not profitable. And, finally, some companies are waking up to that. But let's not pop the champagne yet. Especially in regards to companies like Take-Two. They're not burning DEI to the ground. They're not mothballing it. If the political climate shifts again, let's be honest, you better believe that they'll dust it off and trot it back out of the stable. And that's why you can't trust any of this until they prove that they've learned their lesson. Okay? If they start consistently releasing great products going forward, games that are built by teams, made by real talent, real vision, and not just social check marks, then maybe we can talk about a turning point. That would be fair. Until then, this is just another boardroom pivot, another case of corporations doing what they've always done, which is following the cash money. So yeah, I'm going to be keeping an eye on Take-Two. Borderlands 4 is on the way. I think that's going to be garbage. GTA 6 is coming eventually, hopefully this year. And those games will tell us everything that we need to know about what Take-Two really values now at this point. Not their press releases, not their investor filings, the games themselves. The games will speak. That's how the gaming industry is supposed to work. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are we seeing a real shift in the industry or just a rebrand in sheep's clothing? If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, fuck it. Hit that dislike. Either way, I appreciate you watching. I'll catch you on the next video. Hit that subscription button. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.